morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our beautiful concert performance and, of course, our end-of-year celebration as we are moving into 2022. So thank you for joining us today with Sunshine Centers for Seniors and a partnership with Xenia Concerts, who I think you all are familiar with if you've been to the island this summer. So yes, we have Bridge and Wolof for us today, and they're going to put on a great show for us. Please hang tight if you like to use the washrooms. They are here on the left-hand side. If you like some water or anything, please let us know. Martin, Valerie, Michelle are all here for you, okay? Thank you, and I also have Worry.
Hi, can you hear me clearly? So thank you so much, Chanel, for that introduction, and thank you all for being here in person for a real live concert. Raise your hands if it's the first time you've been to a concert since the pandemic started. Wow. See, we musicians, we find this a very meaningful experience to play for people, and I'm sure that Cornell and Michael would agree that we are all feeling a lot of warmth when we play for people in real life these days after 2 years of being separated. So thank you for being here, and thank you for being part of this experience. So my name is Rory McLeod, and I'm the Executive and Artistic Director of Xenia Concerts. If you can't see me clearly for any reason, I'm a tall guy with pale skin and brown hair and glasses, and I'm wearing a blue shirt with wavy figures on it. We are thrilled to be presenting this concert today in partnership with Sunshine Centers, and I'd like to start by thanking them for helping us bring this music to you and providing this beautiful church and bringing you here to be with us today. We'd also like to thank our supporters, the Canada Council for the Arts, the Ontario Arts Council, the Toronto Arts Council, the Government of Canada, the Cooperators, Rohan Holding Company, and the Hunt Family Foundation. Xenia Concerts is a registered charity, and our mission is to provide high-quality performing arts experiences to people who face barriers to attending traditional events. If you'd like to make a donation and help us advance inclusion in the arts, you can speak to me or another Xenia staff member after the concert. Now, as we come together today to connect through music, we want to acknowledge that the land on which we have gathered sits on the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, the Haudenosaunee, and more recently, the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. We at Xenia Concerts also acknowledge the cultural injustices of the past and express our commitment to truth and reconciliation in the present and the future. We recognize that this land acknowledgement is only one step on that path, and we will continue to learn, listen, and work to build positive relationships with Indigenous peoples, to be good guests and respectful settlers, and to help care for our community and the environment. We are grateful to have the opportunity to be here and to share music with you, and we offer our respect to the first inhabitants of the land. Now, allow me to introduce our musicians. Today, we have a fantastic musical comedy duo, Bridge and Wolof. Michael Bridge and Cornell Wolof perform their own brand of fusion, drawing from their classical roots and their love of folk, jazz, and tango music. You'll be hearing a lot of variety today. Not only are they true virtuosos on their instruments, they're also hilarious and have great chemistry on stage. In fact, they've been called the Victor Borges of the 21st century, for those of you who are Victor Borge fans. They're fun-loving gentlemen with 7 degrees in music between them. They represent the modern conception of musician, entertainer, educators. All right, I've talked enough. I'm going to turn it over to Michael and Cornell. Please enjoy the concert, and we'll see you afterwards.
Thank you so much, everybody. Rory, you've certainly set the bar pretty high. It's only 10:30 in the morning. I'm usually not up yet. Good morning, everybody. How are you today? So far, so good? It's wonderful to be here. Thank you for joining us. My name is Michael Bridge. This is Cornell Wolof. Yes, and it is a real pleasure for us to get to play live, which we're starting to do now, slowly getting there, and to share wonderful music. And we'll take you on a bit of a journey this morning. You know, we are an unusual duo. Yes, few duos have such long hair. I'm the clarinetist. We are, as far as we know, the world's only duo of clarinet and digital accordion, which you will hear more about. So we explore many types of music. Everything you hear is live. We don't use background music, but we want to start with something typical, and then we're going to move into the atypical as we progress. So would you like to introduce our first piece, please?
With pleasure. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, everyone, for being here. The first piece will be by the one and only King of Swing. How many of you remember who that was? Benny Goodman. Yes. And 50% of our duo has a lot in common with Mr. Benny Goodman, meaning roots. Benny was partly Polish, and so am I. So we thought, why not to throw that into the mix? The first piece will be Tattletale. Thank you. We're so happy it was to your liking. As Rory was introducing us, I was whispering to Michael. I said, hey, Michael, we should actually try to get our folks today to laugh. And after the first piece, I can hear some laughter. So it's wonderful. Mission accomplished. Thank you. That's the end of the concert.
We'll be leaving now.
No, it's so nice that you like it because this piece, this genre represents, I think, about close to half of where our interests lie. We really love to play upbeat music, happy music, that make us happy and our audiences as well. However, our hearts are deeply rooted in classical music. We both have been classically trained. In fact, if you would like to know more about our training or any such information, please do save your questions for Q&A that is coming up soon. This next piece will represent our deep interest in Baroque music. Baroque music is really our first and true love in terms of repertoire for a few reasons. One being all the composers are no longer around, so we can do whatever we want with the music. But truth be said, we love the music. We love how the harmonies progress and that it is applicable to many different instruments. So as you know, in Baroque period in 1700, accordion was not around, so was not clarinet. So how come can we be playing this music and delivering it to our audiences? Michael, could you just drop this drop of knowledge on us?
Well, we do like to think that in this group, although we are playing music that we have adapted, you know, these composers, they worked so hard to notate exactly what they intended on the page. Yet, here in Bridge and Volak, we know that we are playing this music as they secretly intended it to be. Yes, yes. So this next piece was composed for oboe and flute, a little hybrid of several sonatas by George Friedrich Handel. So it was written for flute with harpsichord sound. So what you're going to hear is Cornell is going to play as closely as possible the flute sound, and I'm going to become the harpsichord for you today. So please sit back, relax, and be transported by this beautiful and gentle music. There are 4 short movements: an adagio, an allegro, a siciliana, and a gigue. Hope you enjoy.
That was the first movement. It was a minute.
After this, the day is good, isn't it? This music just puts us, and I hope you, in such a nice headspace. At Xenia concerts, because we do play for many, many different age groups, demographics, we do this thing called stretch breaks during the concert. You didn't know this was an active participation concert today, perhaps. However, we try to get everybody moving a couple times throughout the concert. It's good for us too. So we're actually going to ask, would everybody stand up? Yes. Excellent. And now you've done that very well. Now sit down. And stand up. And now that we're standing, hey, Cornell, how about you lead us through some deep breathing?
With pleasure. So since you're standing, I know you have masks and everything, but I would like to share with you one particular type of breath that I'm taking before going up on stage that relaxes me and oxygenizes my brain so it still works when I'm on stage. So what you will do, you will take a deep exhalation and then a very, very slow inhalation with me. So let's start by standing your feet hip distance apart, yes. Relax your shoulders, please, yes. Lift up your heart a bit and keep your head straight, and then exhale. And now, slowly, let's inhale together, and then go, Now we are ready for more music. Why don't you sit down, relax. If you are lightheaded, by now that means you did it right. Okay. So, after this little break, why don't we serve you another piece by my fellow Paul Benny Goodman. Bach, my fellow Paul Bach. How about this? Sorry, I made a little mistake. You know, all the best musicians come from Poland or have Polish roots, whatever, that's a bad Polish joke. So this next piece will be by Johann Sebastian Bach. And originally, this particular piece was composed for cello solo. As you can see on the stage today, we do not have a cello. You don't even have a string instrument. So to feed your curiosity, what we do, we usually find, when we find a piece that we mutually agree upon, that we both really, really like and want to bring to the stage, we have a workshop session. The two of us, we lock ourselves away in some dark attic with no food and no water for weeks on end, and we starve. And truth be told, only starving and poor artists can come up with the best ideas, so here it is. Our best idea yet, guys, is turning this prelude to a solo cello suite number 1 by Johann Sebastian Bach to a fully orchestrated piece for clarinet solo with digital ensemble, I would say, that Michael is hiding away in his squeeze box over there. Now, if that accordion sparkles some questions or concerns among you, please address them in the Q&A that is coming up. So this is formerly known as the Prelude, the first cello suite by Johann Sebastian Bach, and now it's known as the Rock Bach.
Thank you so much. As we said, how Bach secretly intended it. The next piece that we are going to play for you now brings us back to the beginning of the concert. You know, Benny Goodman spent about 700 days of the year on tour, and that's because they had to go everywhere by bus. It was just, you had to do the time, do the travel time. We've done that. We've driven many, many miles, but he was definitely in the bus way more, because now we can take shortcuts called airplanes. And it just so happens that one day Benny was on tour and he got a wire from his family, from his wife back in New York saying, "Benny, come home. Your first child has just been born." So, for the very first time, Benny interrupted his tour and he took a plane home to New York. And that is what inspired this next piece entitled Flying Home. right. I think it's time for a few more of those breaths. I like doing this during concerts, to take a little break. You can sit for this one if you would like, or you may stand again. What should we do this time? Should we all do the wiggles? I don't see anybody jumping up. How about we do some salsa dancing? Would that be okay? Some salsa dancing? Some tango dancing? Let's take a few breaths together again. Please either stand or, as my choir director used to say, sit well. Exactly. Close your eyes, relax, and think of being on the beach. Toronto Island, if you will, or Cuba, if you'd like. Feel the warm sun on your face and the sound of the waves. And take a big breath in. And back out. And now, imagine the smell of coffee. An espresso brewing, a little chatter of a cafe, a biscotti on a small plate in front of you. And as you open your eyes, you see the Eiffel Tower off in the distance across the Seine River.
And in the background of that cafe, you hear this beautiful slow song. It's a jazz ballad composed by Sidney Bechet, who was superstar during his time, playing a clarinet and soprano saxophone, who spent most of his life in France, in Paris. Sidney composed this Petite Fleur when he was just about at the peak of his career. And the two of us, we collected this song while on European tour a few years ago, exactly in the same settings as Michael just explained to you. We were taking a coffee, looking at Notre Dame, hearing this tune, thinking, what a beautiful French tune. And then we were enlightened by one of the waitress saying, this is American, guys. This is your tune. And we're like, oh, wonderful. So we learned this and took it with us on the road. In fact, when we first learned it, it really sounded quite differently. But over that period of the pandemic, we reworked this song. And now it's a true ballad with some improv and some unique sounds that you will be hearing. So in that nice, peaceful atmosphere, please do enjoy Petite Fleur. Thank you. Was this relaxing? Fantastic. Did it bring good memories? Has anyone danced to it secretly under the sit, or were your feet moving? Where is? Fantastic. Now, one thing that we forgot to mention is to explain how does this little thing here works. Would you like to hear how it works? Right. Okay. I've been defeated. I was hoping you'll say no. We'll talk about clarinet, but since you wanted to hear about this, Michael, it's all yours.
Well, this is a digital accordion, and I'm guessing most of you have not seen that before. This instrument was first produced, this model of it, in 2017. So the technology in this accordion didn't exist before that. So this concert would not have been possible more than 4 years ago. So it's a digital accordion. That means it is a computer shaped like an accordion. There are no moving parts inside this. It's got a little screen on top. It's got a very powerful computer. It's got a battery in it, and it does have some internal speakers. We're using a bigger one. But it can make, therefore, any sound because it's sensing my motions and it is creating the sound from that. It senses both how hard I pull on the bellows and also how hard I strike on the keys. So with that, I can control the sound of many different instruments live all at once. So a lot of people ask, how do the drums work? Because you've seen digital pianos before, and this is like a glorified digital piano except for the drum part. So that's over on the left hand. If I'm very gentle with my fingers on the buttons, and I just push lightly, but I pull the bellows, then you will hear this, just bass. But if I start to strike harder with my fingers on the buttons themselves, then I can activate some drum sounds too. Tequila. So it's great fun. As you've heard, we can use this combination of instruments to create a whole variety of sound worlds. And it really keeps us on our toes because the possibilities are limitless. So when we make our own music, we have to limit those possibilities first and figure out what are we going to do? What aesthetic do we want to bring to each song? So we have one more tune for you this morning. I don't usually say this morning. It's this evening or this afternoon.
It's evening somewhere.
It's evening somewhere. But before we do that, a couple of thank yous. First of all, to Xenia Concerts for bringing us in, for being our point of contact. Thank you. And there's a whole team here, Rory, Evan, Paulo, at least those three are here. We've got Matt doing the recording and some sound. Thank you. Thank you very much to Sunshine Concerts for being our partner here at this venue and for bringing us in and opening this beautiful space. And also thank you to the Hunt Family Foundation who are sponsoring today's event. So, and of course, thank you to all of you and welcome back, those of you who are here for the first time at a live concert in some time. So we'll leave you with one more tune.
This next tune comes from Eastern Europe. We don't exactly know where it comes from. However, I used to know it from the radio as a boy when I was growing up as a polka grandpa. So that doesn't ring any bells, does it? No. When I came to America, it turns out it is called here, it's been called here, the clarinet polka. Does it ring any bells now? Some. It will, certainly. But we reworked the piece quite extensively, and now it is known as Polka in Blue. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a clarinet polka, bridge and Volak rendition of it. Hope you will like it. And after this last piece, we invite any questions or any conversations, anything you would like to add or ask us or suggest any repertoire choices that you know of. We always are happy to take pieces under consideration that we haven't learned yet. So please feel free to stay a little bit and talk to us. We'd love to chat with you a bit. So, Polka in Blue.
Well, it's that moment where we are officially done, but if you have any questions, we would love for you to stay and ask us a few. Perhaps Rory, you might want to join us up on stage at some point. And yeah, we've been asked everything, by the way, from fifth graders who ask us, do you like girls? All the way to which countries do you like to go to? So please, everything's on the table.
Can we please give another round of applause
Thank you.
Sorry, before you guys get up and get going, I just wanted to say thank you and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And also, we have free meals coming on their way. They should be here any minute that I would like to hand out to you all for the holidays. Some roast turkey and mushroom beef. So yeah, please hang tight if you like to pick up a meal before you head out, okay? I'll be out the front. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, please. Straight to business. How much for the squeeze box? Well, it's free, but I come with it. This would go for, I think, about 7,000 US dollars for this model. 9,000 Canadian, perhaps. There are smaller models as well that are more affordable. You can order them. I can put you in touch, actually, with a colleague of mine who's the North American distributor, if you're interested in digital accordion. You play? Yes. Ah, yeah, they have piano versions as well, of course. Thank you. The weirdest instrument. Clarinet. That's a weird instrument, right? It can do bagpipes, it can do steel drums. It can, yeah.
Let us show you a few really cool effects that Michael does. Sometimes if he forgets to change the settings, and I'm waiting for him to start playing, weird things come out, like one of those. Like, for instance, what was the one that is really, really funny? There's rain, there are cars starting, and we have our own ovation. You see? If nobody likes what we do, he pushes that button and we feel appreciated. You see? Then we leave the concert hall in our vehicle right there. See, it tells the story. Then the ticket for speeding is coming. You see? Yeah. Well, we certainly, there is a question in the first row, yes? How long does it take to master the digital accordion? Ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to point out that as interesting as this instrument is, I am also here. So, Michael, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm glad that you all got the memo. To focus on accordion. Thank you. The first digital accordions I had my hands on in 2011. As I said, this model came out 4 years ago, but I've been working towards being able to play this. The big difference is that you have to know how to program it to put all the instruments together. And you also have to not only pull the bellows like a normal accordion, but on this one, it also matters how hard you hit the keys, and that's new. Most accordionists don't pay attention to how hard their fingers hit the keys because it doesn't matter. But when you're playing drums, it matters a lot, because if you hit harder, you get different drum sounds. So that was a bit of a learning curve. I think I saw a question over here, this gentleman. Only if it's a clarinet one, otherwise he's gonna be mad. Yeah, it's a pressure sensor. So it's not powering the instrument, but it does sense how hard I pull. Exactly. Rory, do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions, but I do believe you have some CDs available, so maybe you could let people know about those.
Yes, Cornell gets to talk about this. Yeah, we just had a quick little board meeting. You know, it is the holiday season.
And it's the first time for some of you, right?
Yeah, first time back at a concert, so we wanted to do something special with our CDs. Our CDs are out in the lobby, and today only, our CDs are going to be complimentary. Which means if you purchase one, we will compliment you. From the bottom of our hearts. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, guys, for coming. It was lovely to play for a live audience. Once more, thank you. Thank you for supporting, live music, especially in these difficult times, for observing social distancing, for going through all the motions, and to be safe and come and be here with us. And we look forward to see you at some point again. And now perhaps we should give it back to Rory.
Well, thank you all. I think we should give Michael and Cornell one last round of applause. Thank you. And please come back for our next Xenia concert. We are planning concerts for 2020 with Sunshine Centers, and I'm sure you will hear about them soon. So thanks again to Sunshine Centers for having us, and thank you all for being here. Have a wonderful day.